I'm Liz Spencer, and welcome to Business Connection, introducing you to the names and faces of Naperville area entrepreneurs and business owners. Today we welcome AAR and the Matrix Club, but stay tuned for Innovative Orthodontics Centers, all here on Business Connection. Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. Joining me now from AAR is Greg G-Man Dellinger.
Hey now.
Hey there. So, Greg, thanks for joining me. It's always exciting to have you on the show and learn a little bit more about AAR. So remind me again, what is that?
Absolutely. Well, first off, Liz, thank you so much for having me. So excited to be here. In fact, I slept out in the parking lot, levitated over my bed with one eye open. AAR is really on course. We are a global aviation services provider, and what we do is fix and fly aircraft all over the world. We'll get you a whole airplane if you want it, one or two pieces at a time. And then we have a manufacturing business where we help mobilize the mission, where we manufacture for Department of Defense containers, shelters, and aircraft pallets. So we fix them, we fly them, we'll get you a whole airplane if you want it, and then we mobilize the mission.
That's great. How is everything going up at the big maintenance hangar in Rockford? I think that's so cool that you guys are located, in Illinois, local to Chicago. I don't think people understood or understand that we have such a great facility here.
So we do have our big maintenance hangar, a 240,000 square foot heavy maintenance hangar located midfield at the Chicago Rockford International Airport. And of course, we have amazing airfields here in the great state of Illinois. And the fastest growing airfield is the Rockford Airport. And it's really connected to cargo. So great action up there. And of course, our world headquarters is right here in DuPage County. And we're on the northwest boundary of Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. So to your point, aviation thrives here in Illinois. So up at Rockford, it has really been a labor of love. We've gone over the last 3 to 4 years from 40, what we call our best team in aviation colleagues, to almost 500 aircraft maintenance technicians up at the Chicago Rockford Airport. We have an amazing baseload customer. We're sort of a narrow body facility. That's why I brought the 737 airframe here today. So that's the type that we're working for our customer up there. And it's just been amazing, great activity. And with Rockford, that has really sort of lit up in a big, big way all the different education pipelines that we have into the Chicago Rockford International Airport maintenance hangar. And one of the big ones, my pride and joy, is we have an amazing, so we do this, I brought the side of an airplane.
Yeah, right.
I can see it sort of light up in a big way. So we have an amazing program with city colleges of Chicago, specifically Olive Harvey College, which is located up on the south end of the Chicago area. And so we teach students how to work with sheet metal, how to work with the structure of the aircraft. We send them through a fast track program, and then they're guaranteed an interview at AAR. And as I always tell people, hey, they hired me, they'll hire anybody. So we have that. In addition to that, across the great state of Illinois, we have an amazing community college system. Here in DuPage with College of DuPage, and up at Rockford, it's Rock Valley College. Go Eagles. And they have an aircraft maintenance school right across the street from the hangar. So local economic opportunity connected to community college education, which ultimately connects everything to W-2s, to jobs up in Rockford and across the state of Illinois.
I think that's awesome. Aviation is our future. We're going to be flying. We're going to be flying, the workhorse of the 737. So I think that's awesome that you're working with young people to get them involved in this growing and much needed field of aviation. On the maintenance side, we all think about pilots and flight attendants, but there's such a team behind that group, and you're part of that team.
100%. And that is so very important. At AAR, we work from a turbine, a wheel of values that we call our doing it right values. And our first value, and that's what leads the charge, is quality first, safety always. Quality first, safety always. In fact, I was talking with the team yesterday, the human resources team and our talent acquisition team, and we talked about ultimately who do we work for? And I said, go to any airport, go to O'Hare, go to Midway, go up to the Rockford Airport, go into the terminals and see those families, those men and women, those children, those individuals. Look at their faces. That's what drives us every single day. Quality first, safety always. And ultimately, Liz, we really think, not to be haughty, that AAR is a vital link within the global aviation supply chain.
I would agree with you. What's new at AAR?
Couple of cool things. So first off, right around this time last year, AAR acquired a company called Trax, T-A-R-X. And Trax is the world's leading provider of aviation maintenance solutions that are completely paperless and completely digital. So all the different maintenance items that goes on with an aircraft or particularly with an airline then can be tracked digitally. It's truly the way to go. So at AAR, we see it as a sort of a great marriage. And as you know my wife, Michelle, so we've been married 30 years, and it's locked up in the sense that Trax is the software, and we really think that AAR is the hardware. So that marriage allows us to help the world's airlines as well as the government mobilize their maintenance solutions. And then outside of that, we're looking to close over the next 60 to 90 days or so. We purchased a business from a company called Triumph. It's their product support group. And we are a very active player in the maintenance, repair, and overhaul of aircraft. And so these locations will help us really be future focused and hit the afterburner on growth within MRO. So super excited with that. It's 5 locations here in the United States, friends, and also where the action is. Young people always ask, well, where's the action going? And I said, follow the global fleet is what I encourage and march that agenda. So as part of this acquisition, they have a facility in Thailand, which is that Asian Pacific area, what they call the APAC. So that's very, very exciting.
That is exciting. And digital is where it's all going. I mean, you see, even with, the workhorse of the 737, how they've retrofitted, some technology in there to make everybody's seats a little bit more comfortable, to be able to charge everything that we've come onto the plane with. So I think that's absolutely super that everything is coming together for you there. What's the next big thing in the industry?
Well, we are so fortunate that coming up in April 9th through the 11th, is MRO America's 2024. So this is a global aftermarket aviation show, conference, and exhibition. It's going to be at McCormick Place in downtown Chicago. So this is, Liz, probably 16,000 plus aviation insiders from across the world coming to the Chicago area. And what really allows AAR to amp it up, this is our hometown. We love what's going on here. And our CEO and chairman, John Holmes, is going to be giving the keynote address. And at the keynote, John will talk about a call to collaboration, that we all are linked together within the safety of flight, or what we call airworthiness, that aircraft is exactly the way it was built and framed. It is airworthy, and ultimately AAR is the protector of the safety of flight. So that's what's coming up, super exciting for the spring.
It is. Well, you are just super exciting, period, Greg, not only as a person, but representing AAR. I mean, that's exciting. That is the future for us, is aviation, and you're helping supply jobs to
Thank
everybody.
you so much. And we really see it as the best team in aviation. We are always hiring. You can go to aarcorp.com and go to our career section, for AAR is the place of choice to build an inspiring career.
That's awesome. Thanks for stopping by, Greg, and telling us all about it. We're going to be right back with more Business Connection. Stay tuned. Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. Joining me now is the founder of the Matrix Club. Welcome, Madan. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me, Liz. It is a privilege to be on Naperville Television, which is such an asset to the community here.
You are so sweet. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. Tell our viewers a little bit about the vision behind the Matrix Club.
The vision for the Matrix Club was born quite some time ago. It has been about 20 years now that we wanted to create something in the Chicagoland area. The vision basically is to provide a platform for global cultures and the finer things of life to come together so that when people from different cultures interact with each other, it promotes understanding. And I believe what the world needs today is understanding, tolerance, and celebration of each other's cultures. And when this vision is fueled by a love for and a passion for art and culture. And art and culture, these are two things which are the most understood languages in the world. They do not require visas and passports to go from town to town, country to country. People understand that. And just like the global heartbeat, the rhythm of life is understood by everyone. So the vision was to provide a platform for global cultures and the finer things of life.
Wow, and that's the Matrix Club. So that's the vision behind it. What's the philosophy behind it?
The philosophy is very simple. By the nature of us being in this business, we get to be participants in the best times of people's lives, memorable times of people's lives, whether it is a joyous occasion, whether it is a celebration of some social achievements or academic achievements or a political do or an artistic venture or a major star coming in and performing, or on the flip side, when people are celebrating the lower aspects of their life and you lose somebody. So when we become a part of that, it is incumbent upon us to make those events more memorable for people. Because if we were not in this business, then the chances of us being invited to these events was practically nil. So the philosophy is that if we are given the privilege of hosting these events, then it's incumbent upon us to make those events transcend people's expectations, raise the bar, and make them feel that they're really cared for. Because the commercial aspect is one thing, but the human being is a complex creature. Emotions play a big part in how we can satisfy or not satisfy people.
Absolutely. And NCTV has had the privilege of being at the Matrix Club and hosting our big event, the morning show. And so we so appreciate that. How does your vision and your mission come together, and how are you implementing that day to day?
One of the biggest assets for our operation is the people. There are people who have come together who are invested in this vision, who are invested in this philosophy. If you see the core group of our team, they are not here because they are doing a job or they couldn't find another place to work at. They love the philosophy, they love the vision, and they are invested in it mentally. So when people are passionate about what they do, and when they are invested in that, then you see the results when they interact with people. And then the suggestions they come up with. It's not necessary that we agree on everything, but the important thing is we are all open to each other's ideas. And every day we look forward to going to work, sitting with each other, planning things, implementing things. And I think it's a beautiful experience for all of us.
That's awesome. I think that bringing the Matrix Club to Naperville is so wonderful, and you're located right at Route 59. You're kind of right in the middle of everything. You're not too south, you're not too north. Yeah. What is your plan for the city of Naperville? How do you think you're helping and supporting the city of Naperville?
I think the Matrix Club will bring in people of different cultures, very important people from different parts of life, from different countries, different places, locally, nationally, internationally. And when these kind of things happen, like for example, if there's a traveling concert which is, say, 6 stops in the country, and say the Matrix Club is one of them, which we have several events booked that way. So it appeals not just to the Napervillians, it appeals to Chicagoland, the state, the tri-state area, and people come from as far as all around the country. And then when we do weddings and receptions, some of these international weddings which happen, and several of them are happening in the next few years, people come from abroad, and then they tour around Naperville. So what it does is it boosts tourism, especially the hotels, the eating joints and all that. They get a lot of business from these places. It provides employment to several people, because it's not just a Matrix Club, it is not just a convention and banquet or events venue. It has got a restaurant, it has got a theater, it's got a recording studio. Very soon it'll be undertaking catering. So what it does is it becomes a meeting place, as I said, for global cultures. So people come from all walks of life, from different parts of the city, state, and the tri-state area. And Naperville, as it is, it's a very, very well considered and recognized suburb in the whole nation. So I think it boosts the image, it boosts our tourism, and then eventually it gives a positive flip to the economy.
Couldn't agree more with you. And Naperville's got a diverse population, so it also plays into everybody. So
Right.
and again, it's that melting pot that you help bring all those cultures together. So we thank you for that. There's a mission behind the project, especially the restaurant. Tell me a little bit about that and your daughter.
That's a very, it's a very emotional aspect of this whole business.
Sure.
My daughter Meghna, right from her, when she was a toddler, and then right after she went into her first proper school, she was fascinated with the art of interacting with people and especially doing things for people. So right from the age of, I think she was 6 or 7, she started this little thing called Meghna's Exotic Beads. So that was the only thing she could think of during those days. So she bought beads from all around the world, wherever we traveled. And then she learned the art of making necklaces, bracelets, earrings. And then she used to make all these things and have a booth at all our shows, because we've been promoting art and culture and concerts and all that for the last 25, 30 years. So she used to have a booth there, and she used to sell those things, and the proceeds of which she donated to various charities. So, and she found great joy in doing that. And when we lost her a couple of years ago in 2022, February 26th, we were at crossroads, because having been with her entirely through her life, apart from the time when she went to Hawaii to graduate in international marketing, she was with us by choice. She stayed with us, and she was part of our ventures by choice. My wife, she had this whole thing that Meghna had a dream. She was very passionately involved in all our projects. She was very passionately involved in the Matrix Club when we were building it. She had a whole agenda behind what she wanted to do at the Matrix Club. And one of the biggest aspects of Meghna was she was a vibrant personality, but she was very unentitled. She was one with the team. So, and she stood up for the team all the time, because she constantly told me that, Dad, you're very passionate about things, but people don't know that you're that passionate. So sometimes they feel that when you're too passionate, you're angry. So you need to tone it down. Okay. So I took yes, I took her advice, and but the people who have worked with her in the past, they knew her nature and my nature. So it worked well, and my wife felt that it was very essential. She found some inspiration in whatever she went through her books, what Meghna had written over the years in her essays or in her writings to her mother and to me and all that. She found inspiration, and she said that she wanted to launch this charitable organization called Mission Meghna. Now, Mission Meghna is a very integral part of the Matrix Club. We have a space devoted to that, and it'll be working for the betterment of the girl child, for women in need, and plus anybody in need of resources of various kinds in general. So it is just at a fledgling state right now, but I'm expecting it to grow exponentially in the next few years as we do more events at the Matrix Club, tie up with various local organizations, charitable organizations, national organizations. And I feel that her contributions, without her being physically present on this earth, will be far more than what she did during her short period of time she was on this earth. So she inspires us, and she is actually the wind beneath our wings, as you can see.
That's beautiful. What a beautiful tribute.
Yeah.
What a what a beautiful addition to another way for the Matrix Club to give back. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to visit us. I so look forward to having the Matrix Club become a hub for us in Naperville and to be that hotspot that we look for in that great, vibrant area where we can expand our knowledge about everybody. So thank you so much. And to learn more about the Matrix Club, please go visit their website.
Stay in the know at home or on the go with NCTV 17 News Update. This quick recap of everything happening in and around town will be delivered straight to your email inbox for free. Sign up today.
Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. Joining me now from Innovative Orthodontics Centers is Dr. Manal Ibrahim. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's jump right in. You recently had a really big honor. Tell me about it.
Yes, it's really exciting. Invisalign told us that we were the #1 orthodontist Invisalign provider in Illinois, which is really cool.
What does that mean to you, and what does that mean for your patients and the care you give?
For me, it means that I'm eternally grateful to all our patients for trusting us with their care. It means that we've provided Invisalign treatment for over 5,000 people,
Wow.
which is really cool. And for our patients, it means that they can trust us, that we have the experience to provide orthodontic care with Invisalign or braces, not just a pretty smile, but we're taking care of everything else orthodontically, so they can trust us to give them the results we promise. The reason that Invisalign is so phenomenal is because it encases the teeth in all 3 planes of space. You can move them all at once.
Okay.
So you don't really have to worry about the typical staging of treatment that you would with braces. In other words, with braces, you can't start rubber bands from day one. With Invisalign, you can. So you could jump in and start making so many corrections so early on that braces just could never offer you. And that's the love I have for Invisalign. It's not because it's clear. That's why patients love it. It's not because it's a clear plastic removable device, but because of what it can do for my patients. It's changed my life as an orthodontist because I'm able to offer patients treatments that I could never have dreamed of with braces alone. Having said that, we still do a tremendous amount of braces treatment for our patients because when my patients come in, I'm not going to tell them you're only a candidate for braces or you're not a candidate for Invisalign. I give them what they want. I say, what do you want? Do you want braces or do you want Invisalign? And that's what they get. So I'm not locking anybody into any treatment type, but I do tell them you can get whatever you want, what fits your lifestyle, because that's really the determining factor in our office.
Did you always want to be an orthodontist?
Funny question. No, actually, that was not my plan at all. It was by default that I got here.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you love about it, and do you think it was one of the best decisions you've ever made?
The absolute best decision I ever made to become an orthodontist. It definitely fits my personality. It fits my lifestyle in terms of just wanting to engage with patients and make them happy and give them the most aesthetic and functional result that I can orthodontically. So, yeah.
And when we say orthodontics, tell me a little bit what that is and how does that differ from the regular dentist?
So an orthodontist is a specialist who does complete a program for 2 to 3 years after dental school, and it focuses only on orthodontics as well as jaw growth and development. So it's orthopedic as well as orthodontic. And so we do have the training to treat patients of all ages with growth and development, and then fine-tuning tooth positioning, being a little bit proactive versus reactive. That's the specialty.
That's awesome. Well, because I think people often don't think of all the mechanics that go into a healthy mouth and, and teeth, and they think a healthy smile, but if we don't have a good bite, if we're not, if we have too much space or not enough space, lots of things get impacted.
We have to understand that if your teeth are crooked, you can't floss them properly. If they have big spaces, the floss can't get the food out of there.
Right.
So how do we maintain the health of our gums and our bone? We have to make sure that we can clean the teeth really well, that food can't get stuck in there. If the bite is off on one side or another, that means we're putting too much force in one area. We could wear and tear the teeth, they could fracture. So again, it all goes back to, can we get the teeth in the most ideal position relative to their bone and to each other so that they can kind of live happily ever after and we can keep them healthy and clean and happy. that's really what orthodontics is about. Again, a lot of people think, I just want to get my smile improved. Yes, I do too. I want to get your smile improved, but there's so much more to orthodontics than just what you see in the mirror.
What is it about the Naperville community that you love so much?
Well, you know, my husband and I moved here and we opened a practice here because we knew that it was the best place to raise children. And it has truly been remarkable networking with local business owners, families, our patients. It's been a really rewarding place to live and practice.
You're located right downtown, correct?
Correct. We are in the Main Street Promenade right above Hugo's Frog Bar. Everyone knows Hugo's, so we're right up on the second floor. And we do have also a pediatric practice called Innovative Pediatric Dentistry, and our Naperville Dental Specialists, which is general dentistry coupled with prosthodontics, implants, oral surgery, endodontics, periodontics, anything you need done with your teeth, as well as, of course, the orthodontics there.
Share with our viewers a little bit, what's the proper age for a child to be thinking about coming to see you?
Thank you for asking me, because that is one of my huge passions, actually. And it is recommending that patients come in at the age of 7. Okay. And that is sort of a guideline that the orthodontic organizations have asked us to share with our patients, because we can identify so many issues at the age of 7 when the 6-year molars first come in. And there are certain benchmarks that we look at in terms of the growth and development. And so we are identifying if everything is going accordingly or if there are issues that we need to address right then and there. Oftentimes we see patients for 4 or 5 years before we even recommend orthodontic care. So we're not looking to do care at that age. We're just looking to do a really good diagnosis and screening. And then we see our patients usually once a year after that.
That's awesome. Well, it kind of goes to my follow-up question that if people want to get in contact with you, how do they do that? And do they need, what's going to happen? They there for, do they come in and get serviced right away, or is it more of a consultation type of deal?
Yep, so our patients come in for complimentary consultations. We do take photographs and x-rays. We have a 3D x-ray machine with very low radiation, so it can detect a lot of different things that we can't really see in the traditional old school kind of x-ray. Mm-hmm. And then if they are needing some treatment, we're able to recommend Invisalign or braces. If they're not ready for treatment, we do see them once a year until they are ready. All these appointments and visits are complimentary. We have things on our radar that we might be watching, high-risk situations where teeth might get damaged. So we have those items written down and we check them at every subsequent visit. And we do love to see our patients as often as we need to until treatment may be necessary. We do also recommend additional services. So sometimes patients come in and they're not happy with their smile, and orthodontics alone may not take care of it. So we may recommend that orthodontics would be one finish line to get you to maybe veneers, some cosmetic dentistry, some implants. And we do want to do comprehensive care in our office, not just kind of band-aid an issue, but we just want you to have long-term, lifetime benefit and a good quality of life with the recommendations we give.
That's awesome. I do think, and it goes back to your thought on dental care. It's a lifetime, so that's really great that you guys are taking care of us and looking at that long-term picture. So
regardless of the age, we do like to do that. Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for all that you do for the community. Your practice and you and your husband are a great addition to the business community down there.
Thank you so much.
And it's so vital. You were offering just great vital service. So thank you so much for taking time out of a busy day and coming to Business Connection.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we're going to be right back with more Business Connection. If you're interested in a television appearance on Business Connection as a way to reach out to your community or to gain exposure for your company, please visit our website to find out more. I'm Liz Spencer, and thank you for watching Business Connection.